I don't know what Jalen Brunson has to do to get calls. I don't know what Jalen Brunson does to have to earn his respect from the NBA, but I'm pretty sure now and this season is a good time for all the referees in the NBA to look at Jalen Brunson as one of them ones. We know he came to the Knicks when the Knicks weren't expected to be that good. And what happened? One season it took Jalen Brunson to become a megastar. And you know what? Even last season, he wasn't getting the respect that he actually deserves. This season has been a whole other issue. This season has been like two seasons in one for not only the Knicks, but Jalen Brunson. Reality of what the Knicks aren't getting. This isn't something to be taken lightly. This is something serious. What are we looking at here, man? What are we seeing, refs? We all talk about, we want to let the game be physical, right? I'm actually one of those guys. I like to let a little physicality come into play. I remember vaguely the 90s Knicks and the era of the 90s in general, how it was reffed, how it was called, how the NBA was perceived. So, yeah, I would like to get back to a little bit of that. But this, midair, pummeled midair, right after taking a fucking layup. What are we seeing here? One of the best players in the NBA for the whole entire season. I'll say it if everybody else is scared to. Jalen Brunson is the best point guard in the NBA. You guys don't think he deserves that call? Let's get to the second version of what we just seen. Brunson, 9 seconds to go. Brunson looks up. Brunson on the drive to the lane. Off the glass. He backs it home. Next lead. And you referees are trying to tell me that's not a foul? Midair, taking flight. And you don't think that could have been an and one? I don't know what the refs are thinking this year. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know what standard they're trying to set. But the standard that it is right now is not the correct one. Jalen Brunson goes to the hoop more than any player in the NBA besides Gilgeous-Alexander. And out of the top 10 of the people driving to the basket the most, Jalen Brunson isn't even top 10 in percentage as far as free throws attempted out of that group. And for a guy that's barely 6 foot, that ain't fast, that can't jump, that doesn't have the speed, that doesn't have the athleticism, he gets to the basket at will. And he deserves every call that should be called on him. When are the Knicks going to get the benefit of the doubt, right? New York, number one market, actually one of the best teams in the fucking NBA. And you're telling me that we can't get the benefit of a call nowadays? I don't care about how many free throws we had last game and how many we missed last game. What's apparent is what was missed. And what was missed was the reason why we lost yesterday's game. Right after this play, Gilgeous-Alexander hit a turnaround fadeaway, Thunder up one. If Jalen Brunson would have got the and one, shot and made the free throw, game would have went into overtime. So we're talking an actual win and an actual loss here. It's not fair. Julius Randle news. Randle hasn't played basketball since January 27th. And who the fuck hurt him? Ame Vasquez. Of course, a Miami Heat player. What happened last year in the playoffs? Bam Adebayo injured Julius Randle. I just want the Knicks to just stay far away from the Heat because it seems like whenever we play the fucking Heat, one of our best players always get injured. We had OG come back for 3 games a few weeks ago, but he's back in the fucking injury hole. We had Mitchell Robinson come back for a couple games. He already sprained his ankle. He was out against the Thunder. So we're used to this by now, guys. We're treading water as much as we can. Tom Thibodeau is squeezing the lemon to get every bit of that lemon out of there. How much more can he squeeze? Is going to be the question. Josh Hart spoke after the game, and he had the right mindset. I'm looking at this team like this is the team we're going to have. I think that's how we have to approach it, that those guys aren't coming back, and obviously will be pleasantly surprised if they come back. That is the scariest update since both of those guys have been out, that they don't kind of know what the timeline is of either of them. Randle, different situation, right? We knew there was a possibility still for surgery after his injury, and he hasn't taken any contact, and at one point, was ahead on his rehab, was ahead of OG Anunoby. And OG Anunoby obviously came back. OG Anunoby, we know he had surgery, came back. We thought it was going to be an injury management thing. Now he's been out a bunch of games. And now Knicks fans are wondering, Is he coming back? Contract year. And if you guys don't remember, we had an instance like this in Jeremy Lin when he was up for his contract. And what'd he do? He wanted to play a little bit of hurt. He wanted to make sure he got his bag and that it didn't hurt. He wanted to make sure he got his bag and that didn't affect his future in the NBA. OG Anunoby. Well-established player. One of the best defensive players in the NBA. Knicks are looking to throw a bag at him. Knicks were pretty darn good during January when the full starting lineup was in. He's a free agent this offseason. Will he play through a little pain? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, Jalen Brunson needs one of those two guys to come back if the Knicks want to make a special run.